Hello and welcome to the show. A couple of days ago, I was sent a review unit of the Xbox One X. A big thank you, of course, goes to Microsoft for doing that. Now, while I can't quite talk about the console, that's still under embargo for a day or so, we were allowed to do an unboxing video. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of doing unboxing videos, and I didn't really want to faff around, kind of one-hand filming, trying to open cardboard boxes and whatnot. So instead, my plan was to kind of take stuff out and then do a little bit of filming and give the boxes to my cats, because as we all know, cats absolutely love cardboard boxes. Anyway, this is what we got. We got the console. Also got sent a whole bunch of games with it for us to try. Now, I probably won't do that many videos on any of the games, but if there's something with vehicles that I can mess around with, chances are, yeah, we'll probably have a go. Also note, I've just taken the console out of the box, how much cat hair is already on it. My cats aren't allowed on the desk. It's just, the air is full of cat hair around our house. It's an inevitable thing when you have a fluffy cat like Cass here, who kind of initially comes wandering in before immediately getting distracted by trying to go into places where he really shouldn't. In terms of kind of visually, fairly similar to the Xbox One S, similar size, will fit nicely in the gap underneath the TV, where the One S went slightly different in terms of cooling and whatnot. Cass then immediately became interested in the box, as you would expect. In fact, managed to make it really awkward by pushing the box right up to my feet. I couldn't actually go any further back because there was a chair behind me at this point, and Cass decided that I needed to have the box directly in front of me. This was just the initial inspection of the box. To be fair, I'd already sat on it as soon as it arrived in my office. But yeah, so styling-wise, very similar. It is a decent looking console, and it's not overly large as the original Xbox One was. When I opened the box up and got it propped up, it wasn't long before Cat decided to go and sit in it. Cass loves investigating everything that comes into the house. He has to sniff. Like, he's not the sort of cat that will go and steal stuff. Like, even if you're eating dinner or whatever, he's not the sort of cat that will go and steal stuff. He just wants to come up and have a sniff and investigate and confirm exactly what it is. So that is the first step of any box investigation. He then sees I have a camera, and he likes running up to cameras as well. Whenever you have a phone out, if you it's very difficult to take pictures of a cat that is either running around or wants to come up to say hello to the camera itself. Isn't long before the second one. Amara comes to join. Amara is a lot younger than Cass. Is about 13 weeks old at the moment. It is by far and away the more adventurous of the two. Cass is a little scaredy cat, well, quite big scaredy cat now. Amara is the most friendly kitten who wants to play with absolutely everything. In this particular case, has decided that Cass's tail makes for a brilliant toy to try and bat. And this is all while going on inside, as I would come to call it, Fort Xbox. Now, my office isn't giant. However, there is plenty of space in it. Amara also has trouble sitting sometimes. You know, cats are supposed to be elegant and whatnot. Yeah, Amara isn't. Cass, more so, although he still does have his derpy moments. Yesterday, he was trying to clean himself at the top of the stairs and didn't quite judge it and managed to fall off the top step. It was quite amusing. He caught himself, don't worry, he didn't get hurt. But was quite amusing. That's the sort of cats that we're dealing with here. They're not the brightest of animals, but there we go. So Amara's had a little sit-in. They very quickly decide that the most interesting bit of Fort Xbox is this little gap that I kind of unintentionally position the boxes here, and yep, sure enough, the paws start going. This is the little gap that would see much of the fight, much of the kerfuffle over Fort Xbox will go on down that one little area of approach. It's Cass's turn to hold the fort, although they kind of like to be able to see each other, and will often go wandering around, making sure they know where the other one is. Not necessarily wanting to be there, just want to know where everybody is. Then we're continuing to investigate the little gap, often with a lot of paws are flailing down that particular part. So Cass decides that he wants to go around and try and stick his head through the gap, while Amara, now deciding to sit just about like a proper cat. I don't quite know what the sort of paw flailing is, but both of our cats have always done that, and now we've got the one paw around the corner of the box going for the sneak attack from Cass. Amara is a little bit surprised. She's not so comfortable with the sneak attack. There's Cass's head coming through there, although it's Mara with the next better assault. Cass has gone change of plan. We're going to go for the better approach, the bop on the face from from Amara, because why not? Cass is a little bit too much of a big cat to fit through that gap itself. But now the main way of approach is much easier to go for the batting when you're when you're not trying to get one paw around a corner. However, Amara, briefly fended off the assault before deciding that the best parts of all of that would be used as an escapeway. It works pretty well for the little kitten. Little kitten can get out of there. Now it's Cass's turn to be doing the defending. Much more successful from Cass at defending that little gap. And this went on for quite some time. If you ever are watching my videos and you hear the odd clonk and bang in the background, it's probably because one of these two is doing something in my office. They like exploring, and they like being in the same room as humans are. And yeah, if they're awake. Currently, Amara is asleep behind me as I'm recording this very moment in time. But yeah, they do enjoy rummaging around and causing trouble for each other while I'm trying to do stuff. Amara managed to get a bit of paper and get that into the box. Now we've got the cat pouncing mode almost engaged. Where Amara had jumped out of the box to try and get away had now left a much bigger gap, and that was one that Cass could just about exploit, going for a surprise attack, but it wasn't the most successful of attacks. Amara just didn't flinch at all. It kind of got used to the Cass jumping through the corner. Amara's going for the roll-over defense, and it kind of did the job. Cass very quickly evacuates the area, almost gets his tail swatted once more. He's now investigating the other box, although not quite what he can get in at the moment. I don't think they would, if I laid the other box down on its side, they're not so keen on going into boxes like that. They like to have sort of an open top box. Amara's still using the defensive bat around the corner strategy. Cass is going for a different approach. He's now going for the bat at the foundations of Fort Xbox. Basically be annoying more to Amara than it is to actually try and get around to the box. We've got Amara doing half laying, half sitting again for, I don't know, kittenly reasons, probably. Cass is now trying the other corner as to bat at the box. Amara can't decide where she wants to go. She wants to pounce at somebody, but can't see somebody to pounce at. Tries jumping around the corner. Didn't really work out. Cass is a bit too far away, but also doesn't want to go and leave Fort Xbox undefended. You can see a tail as Cass comes around. Cass is now trying the upside down attacks. They both, for whatever reason, decide to look at me as if to say what was the ruling on said attack. And Cass is still not doing a great job. He's going back to batting at the foundations again. Didn't really work. It was another upside down swipe, but Amara bats that one away. Yeah. This is what happens. They like Fort Xbox. There's a sudden surprise poke from Cass. He just goes for a leap, just sort of leap straight into Fort Xbox, but it wasn't quite as successful as he would have liked. Amara stubbornly rolled over and stuck at the back of the the box, and Cass is off again. Cats love boxes, and Fort Xbox is a very, very good box for said cats to play with. We've got the Amara doing... I call it cat launch control, when they do the wiggles when they're about to pounce. Both of them will do it. Amara was doing it more in this particular incident. Cass is going for the surprise attack from the other direction again, managing to move the box further away, but is starting to run out of energy, I think. Amara's going for the sudden bat around the corner. Yeah, this went on for quite some time. It was a big old fight over Fort Xbox. At this stage, Amara had managed to fend off as best she could, although eventually ran out of energy, and decided that the chair was the more comfy of the two options and would curl up and, yeah, go back to sleep. It was a valiant defense from Amara, but in the end, tiredness got the better of her, and Cass would rule Fort Xbox. So, yeah, keep an eye out on more about the Xbox One X in the near future. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, the box has definitely got my cat's seal of approval. Goodbye.